Rich, give one of those to
Thank you.
Katie.
Don't worry, I'm getting handed everything. Oh, no, I'm good. I should be okay. I can follow along.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
Do you have a copy of the way it's gonna be set up and everything? You don't read it?
I'm fine. I just show up and somebody points me.
Okay. Can we
What
review
about
the
finger
minutes,
they
please?
use?
It wouldn't be the first time.
No, I don't do that. You don't want me to do that.
Who sings?
Can you take a minute to review the take a minute to review the minutes?
Bill has said, you asked for cell numbers for all volunteers, are we getting them out of jail or?
It's, oh, no,
Maybe.
Yeah, all depends on what they do beforehand. But I do have them all listed now on the sheet
Right.
there, in case they need to communicate at
Right.
the time, from one end of the rec field to the other, or down to the common. In case Murphy shows up, as Murphy as well.
That's right.
So I printed out previously, so here we've got a parcel of 14.5 acres that are whole out in the back of us, and another one that's 77. I can't remember, I have one, and then this one is just 2 acres. So there are two that they're saying accepted, but I don't know which one they're referring to.
Just in reference to the chairs, I've rented 125 chairs from Taylor Rental. I'm gonna make a recommendation to the committee, that we up that to 175. I just don't wanna have anybody standing that shouldn't be standing. So at $1.75 a chair, you know, the delivery and pickup cost is the same. We're looking at less than $100 more. And should, the Memorial Day Committee run out of funds, the Veterans Memorial Committee will cover that cost.
I have an expense account
Okay.
that I haven't used because I was gone, so I will cover it.
You'll cover it, okay, so we're done.
Well,
Okay.
I'm gonna, let me show you my slip and we'll go from there.
Sure.
After.
I'll have the key to the church tomorrow morning and I'll go down and see how many they have.
Great.
They didn't, after all these years, they still don't trust me to have the key to the church, so. Which might be smart,
I know your background.
yeah.
Is there any omissions or corrections that anybody would like to make? Set. Can we have a motion to accept the minutes?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, so we're gonna be here so we can finalize the plans for the Memorial Day, so we can all, talk about whatever's on our mind or thing, and let's talk about the lineup first. We have a subcommittee. Do you wanna take that, Bill?
Sure. Okay, so, on the sheet that I passed out, the second page,
Does everybody have this, by the way?
yeah, that's attached to
Oh, okay.
this right here. That's both sided, by the way. We now have, the groups all identified, and we have numbers associated with, the groups. And of course, one of the most important features is gonna be our organization, up at the rec field, and then the organization on the common. So, I'm meeting at 5:45 with the volunteers that we have that are gonna be at the rec field. There are 6 of them, and they're all on that first sheet. along with the volunteers, at Go Green, which is gonna be the parking, and the volunteers on the common. And I have measured the parking lot at the rec field and feel that there are some unknowns. There's gonna be some variables, and that would be, I've contacted 6 antique car clubs, 4 motorcycle groups, all of them express an interest in coming, but nobody's given me numbers yet. And we're getting contacts, left and right from, people who have, cars, so that's sort of an unknown. But we will have flexibility, and we'll have room for overage in terms of, what happens if more come that we can fit literally in the parking lot at the rec field. So you'll notice that, next to each of the numbers, there's also a letter, and the letter corresponds to the key on the front of, the map or diagram, and that's gonna be where are they going after the parade. So I'm gonna ask my volunteers tonight to communicate with groups as they come and say, now, okay, at the end of the parade, if you'd like to stay for the services, we'd love to have you do that, here's where you go. And so we've got, groups that are gonna be going up on the common, that's a C. The D is going to be for the 9 military trucks, including 1 tank we now have. And I asked, not only do, we feel like, they're gonna know, cause you're gonna tell them, they're gonna take a right into the, parking lot where the police station is, and someone will be there to tell you where to park. This is for the military vehicles. I've asked Tom Larson, who's gonna be in the food truck, to kinda help out with that, because with 9 vehicles, we're gonna have, it'll be a close space, but because of, the way that we are, positioning the food truck, we should have enough room for the 9 to fit in the parking lot. The whole idea there is to encourage people to, stay after the, services, and they get a bite to eat, and then they can walk around and see the, trucks. Claudia has a, diagram there where we're gonna leave enough room for the floats to come back and, park, behind the building and cross in front of, the police station. So, and I think that between Tom Larson and my going over there, as long as that first truck gets in there, a military truck, and he backs up and gets a spot, then we'll have a better idea of where we're going. And, then, the D actually stands for the parking lot, the driveway before the common, and that's where we've suggested that the motorcycles will go up and park along the driveway, cause there is an area that's reasonably flat with grass, and they can park there. If they wanna park on the street, that's fine too. And then the, S is gonna be for the classic and antique cars, and they can park along, Main Street, and, Sergeant Ryan has, said that that would be okay, so, we have, so the front and the back represents the, 30, groups that are numbered groups, and, we got the band all lined up. We've talked to all the other groups. They're supposed to be getting there around 10 o'clock, so I'm asking my volunteers to show up at 9:30. And I think that, take a look at, the setup. I'm wide open for any comments, input, suggestions, recommendations. I pointed out that there are porta potties up on the field for people if they need to go, cause they're gonna be standing around for an hour or so. So what do you think as far as the setup?
How many porta potties?
There's actually, the 2
Oh, in the
behind the
field.
bandstand, do they still work?
Yeah, they just were delivered
Okay,
recently.
great, and then we have the one up by like the baseball field, is that still there?
I don't know.
Yeah, cause I saw it there a week or so ago.
Okay, then it would still be
Yeah.
there. It's still
I
open
only
for the
asked
season
because, these guys are all in their 80s.
We have one on the common.
Have they been told
Yeah,
a
but
certain
it's
time to show up and the
10
border?
o'clock.
Or they're all just gonna, when they get
10 to
there?
10:15.
You know what, we
yeah.
should have that.
So that's why we have as many volunteers as we have, cause that first, group that comes, you're gonna tell them where to go, you may have to walk them up. And what I'm gonna tell our volunteers tonight is as the groups line up, and for example, let's start from the beginning. we'll have the police, the grand marshal, the color guard, and the militia. As they form up, and you know you have enough room for them, close them in. Cause if we have extra space, we can roll them over, and, cause we're gonna need extra space at some point. So have them close cover at that point. And so, yeah.
Question on the color guard, who are the color guard people, who are they
Yeah.
gonna be?
Massachusetts National Guard, 181st Infantry, and they're coming out of Gardner.
So they're gonna have the flag.
They're gonna have the flags,
And
there
they're
are
gonna have-
three. We have
And their
three.
people are gonna form up behind them.
Yeah, and behind
Is that
them, behind the color guard is gonna be the militia.
Where do their people fall? Are they gonna have people marching at all, or is it just a color guard unit?
There's, three is what they've been able to muster total, and,
Okay.
the sergeant's name is
Yeah, no-
Burke, and,
No weapons, that's why.
no weapons, the militia's gonna be the ones carrying the weapons.
Okay, so
Yeah.
there's no other people we have to fill in?
Not at all,
That's gonna
just
be
the three.
them.
Mhm,
Okay, that's
exactly.
In
what I was
each
thinking.
number, is there a certain amount of space for each one, or just wherever they fit?
Well, you're gonna put them in right after the other. Tonight, I'm gonna tell you, I have a diagram of what I think, how much space they need. And, you know, I've got that all spelled out, and I'll do that with you guys tonight.
It will work out.
Absolutely.
And you're gonna march also, correct?
Yep, and I've set it up because every one of our volunteers, except for, Jean Brunel,
Okay.
will be literally marching. So when it's time for you guys to get in with the veterans, you're gonna be able to do that. When it's time for the Lions to get with the Lions float, they're gonna be able to do that. And so Jean Brunel is gonna be the one person left, because when your float leaves, you guys are gone. But Jean's gonna be there, and I'm also gonna recruit my grandson, who's driving in from Chicago, so there's gonna be two up there remaining to make sure the other contingents go. And the thing that I'm gonna be telling you guys, if, for example, the Antiqua Classic cars, if we don't have enough room for them, we can put them out on 68, right? So the only thing you're gonna have to do is when they are coming onto the parade route and there is overage on 68, you're gonna be saying, all right, now's the time to come. So it's kind of a little bit of a traffic duty you're gonna do, but by that time,
That would be the other guys doing
you
that.
guys are
They
gonna
will-
be
they
gone,
will
so
be
that's
gone.
gonna be Jean and my grandson that I'm gonna explain that to.
Yep.
So we're getting on the float once everybody else is in
Are
place.
you walking? Are you walking?
I'm gonna walk.
Walk, I wanna walk too, so we're not getting on the floor.
No, you guys have the option of walking, which we're glad you're gonna do, but we have 3 veterans floats total, right? Go ahead.
Well, we have two, I'm looking for the second one, cause I think we need another one, we have
Mhm.
23 veterans coming from Worcester, and we have 75 right now.
75
Veteran-
they've signed up.
Veterans, yeah,
Mhm.
75, so we might need another flatbed, I'm looking for it now. I have one now that needs to be painted, if anybody wants to help. I bought the paint, came in last night, I said, oh, we gotta fix it.
Do you have a truck to pull that flatbed?
I have a truck to pull, my friend's coming from Connecticut, she's gonna pull it, but I need one more flatbed, I think, I'm working on that.
What about a
Okay.
DPW truck?
A what?
A DPW truck?
To pull the
Gonna be for a
trailer?
float.
To pull, I need the trailer part. Do they have a trailer down there? I wonder? Like a flatbed?
Maybe.
On the lineup, is number 5
Yeah,
supposed
we
to
do
be
need a
Vietnam veteran? Are the
rover.
Vietnam veterans going first, because you have the Vietnam float, and then you have veterans walking.
We have the walking Vietnam veterans, number 5, holding the banner. We have the
It
banner.
doesn't say Vietnam, that's.
Yeah, it doesn't say Vietnam.
Alright, should be Vietnam, but
Yeah.
you know what if it gets mixed up?
Well, it's not the
What
end
if
of
it
the
gets
world.
mixed up? It won't
but-
be the end of the world.
Where's the banner coming from?
I had it made a couple years ago,
Okay,
and they're getting weights on the bottom, they're fixing the pole, so that, I have that.
And they'll be, we'll
I can
have
give it
somebody.
to Joe at some point, you need to pick 2 people to hold that banner.
Yeah.
I don't know if you wanna be the first to lead with the
Where's
banner.
Martin gonna carry it?
It's not heavy,
No, it's only about 25,
it's just
50
canvas.
pounds.
Yeah.
It's just a
How many
canvas,
people do you need to carry?
just one on each side, it's just a pole, and you just walk with it, you know,
You and Richard
So-
carry it.
Pick a couple of volunteers.
it doesn't matter, whatever you,
Volunteered?
Kids.
whatever you think, whatever you wanna do.
What about
Alright.
kids? Have kids carry it.
Yeah, that would be good too, but it's one of the committee things,
Well, let's,
Stick with events.
yeah.
Yep. Okay, any other questions about the lineup, the setup? What do you think, Saj?
At that point, I'm up front and I can,
Looks good. We can move the fire trucks a little bit
this doesn't
towards
apply
Go
to
Green,
us,
'cause
Tom,
they're
Yeah.
gonna
we
block
don't
the
care about
road.
that crap.
And
On
maybe
the
even
back
after
end of
Go
it.
Green, you know, the Go Green's gonna have, you have the parking lot there, there are gonna be people coming in.
Yep.
But beyond Go Green, you know, you've got other areas, you know.
Yeah, once we shut the road down, they're gonna have to just pull up to New Templeton's gonna be the only
Mm-hmm,
access right there. So we're gonna have to shut that off right there, so.
mm-hmm.
There's also that land
So I have
across
a
the
question.
street that has that road, or the senior center site,
Right.
that they could pull in there if they had to, it's past New Templeton.
And then the volunteers are
Yeah.
gonna be telling, let's say somebody drops somebody off, then you're gonna tell them where to go to park. I already have signs made up, that are gonna be on the rec field, they're gonna say, parade floats only. And then there's gonna be a sign in front of Go Green, a couple of signs saying, parking here for the parade, already made up, I'll have them out there. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna be telling people, if they're dropping somebody off, go right beyond to park. Or if they get there early enough, there's 9 or 10 places along the way they can park, including
But
the
they won't
post
be able to
office.
go too far where they have to make a U-turn. There's gonna be a certain point where they have to stop and park. What do they, if they're dropping somebody off
Yep.
and leaving, what do they do? U-turn?
They can pull in the Go Green and then
Just go
Turn
just
around.
leave from
Mhm.
there, right?
Can I just say, do we forget we have a shuttle? We have a shuttle that's gonna, and after you close the road off, I think they're still gonna shuttle. Cause you're closing the road off at 10:30. They
Well,
still have a half
yeah,
an hour to shuttle
We
those
can,
people, right?
we can delay it a little bit past 10:30. Just when we start getting into the road is when we're gonna shut it down.
Okay, so can I,
So-
so, I understand that, and that's fine. I just need to know, tell my Mart van driver, or my shuttle guy, which is gonna be the Mart van, they can keep shuttling, because people will pull in there after 10:30. So they
Right.
need to be able to come up and down Main Street to drop people off,
Yeah, I
that's
mean, just
okay?
once the
That's
parade
okay.
starts, just them on
Once
Main
the
Street's
parade's-
not gonna be a big
right,
deal.
once the
And I'm
parade
sure we're gonna
starts.
get a few cars coming out of somewhere that we didn't anticipate, a parking lot or a driveway that we're gonna have to deal with, but.
Okay.
Well,
And so my next question is, so the Mart van, this was a question from Sharon and one of the drivers. The Mart van's gonna go up and down Main Street until the parade starts at 11. Where are we gonna put the Mart van? Are we gonna put the Mart van, I was thinking up by the church and let him park there in case anybody needs him, so he's visible so people can see him? Or do you want him to park, where do you wanna put the Mart van after 11 o'clock he stops? Cause the parade starts, he's gonna stop at like 10 minutes and then he's gonna come down here, find a place to park.
I believe there's at least room for 24 vehicles up at the parking lot by the church.
We could cone something off,
Should we,
maybe.
should
Yeah.
we do the Mart van up there?
Well, they should go up there, cause then you're gonna be shuttling people back,
Yep,
so that would probably be the best spot to
okay,
put it.
good.
There'll be room up there for that.
And I would presume that your traffic officers, somebody arrives at 11:15 and they say, I'm here for the parade and I just wanna park, you're gonna say, okay, go green.
Right.
And then after Go Green, we have that huge parking lot, most of which my daughter owns, so that's not an issue. Right up to where the new storage facility is opening up, there's a big rock there and that designates the end of her property, so it's wide open. We're gonna have, I believe, 2 flatbeds. One coming from Salvador's with the tank and another one coming with a half-track from Higgins. And we're gonna put the flatbeds there in that big parking lot beyond Go Green to get them out of the way. So if the guys ask at that point where we're parking, you say, go beyond Go Green, big area on the right-hand side, that's where to park.
Okay, and what about the horses? They're coming in a trailer.
Place for them at Go
So they
Green.
wanted to need,
Yep.
okay.
Go Green,
That's
or
right.
if that is filled up, then beyond Go Green on the right-hand side.
Yeah, we can get some be able to get some vehicles through until we start the parade.
Yeah, good.
But we're gonna close it as Yeah.
What happens if somebody's coming up like from Holden and it's after 10:30?
They're gonna have, well, so depending on the timing, you know, if we've started walking, they're gonna have to go down, Brigham and around Old Westminster.
Mm-hmm. Started walking, meaning the
Or
parade
go
started.
through, or go through Westminster,
Meaning the parade started.
correct.
But let's say somebody's coming up 68 North and gets to the center and it's 11:15,
Yeah,
and they say, I'm here for the parade.
yeah, we can get them through
Yeah,
all the way.
tell them to go up to
Right.
Go Green.
I'll have an officer there, an officer around GFA area, and then an officer, well, there'll be a bunch of us
Yep.
by where we're starting.
And some of them are gonna be asking, cause I've had 4 or 5 already asked for the handicap parking, and I've told them exactly where to go,
Yep.
which is that driveway, so someone may ask that question of one of
Up
the
at the
officers.
church, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we'll put, so I'll have one guy up there, and then, once we really start moving, we'll make sure we shut everything down, but that shouldn't
Sounds
be an
good.
issue.
So Ryan, I have one more question for you. I'm not Ryan. Yeah, Ryan. Anyways, okay, so your police vehicle's gonna be parked in front here.
Yes,
So when we come back with the floats are gonna be out here. We're gonna be decorating them Sunday afternoon.
Yep.
They gotta come out around this way and go out, right? So when they come in, they have to come back and go the way they came in.
mm-hmm.
So where they can undecorate them and get them out of the way and people can be on it. Are your police cars gonna be parked there, or are you gonna be out on the, out?
Well, there'll be,
What do you think?
there'll probably be at least 1 or 2 parked there, so.
Well, I think we'll be able to get by, cause if we're gonna be able to get out, we should be able to get by.
Yeah, just when everybody comes back, we just can't block that access, obviously
No,
we
but
need
once
access
we
to
can
be able
get-
to get in and out if there's an emergency or something.
Right, but we can get them in. Once
Yeah.
they're in behind the building out here, you're.
Yeah, that's fine,
Yeah.
that'll be fine, yeah.
Okay. Cause I think there's gonna be a lot of people in here, so that's why I didn't know if you would be out.
Yeah, we can, you should be able to get, I can't imagine you wouldn't be able to get back through if you came out that way.
Yeah, cause there'd be military vehicles there, second row of military vehicles there, room for the floats to get by, and still room for, the police cars.
Right.
And Claudia, do you wanna talk about, setup on the common too?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think we should.
Want me to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
All
got
right.
one question, so when they do show up, we tell them where they're gonna park when it's over. We let them know when they get there, where they're gonna park when they're done.
Okay, now who are you talking about?
And, well,
Military.
the one that says PL,
The one that says what?
We already
Parking
did
lot
last
at
night.
police stations,
Oh,
for the military
for the
vehicles.
military
That's
vehicles.
for the
Yeah.
military vehicles.
Do they know where they're
I
going
think they
now?
were used, when you talked to
Oh,
them,
they
those
do.
were
They do,
retired.
yeah.
Those look like they're new.
So,
They
Do you know
had
how,
dirt on
do
them.
we have an idea of how many you have?
Maybe not,
Military
that may
vehicles?
just be
Nine.
I'll have to
No.
look.
I know I have 9.
But yeah, we did that
And
last
I
night,
know
Girl
at
Scouts and
least
Boy
6
Scouts,
of
we
them
went
know
through
that
town.
they're gonna get
And we did the
peeled
column.
off
Another
to
map.
go into that park.
Yes, yeah,
but we tell them when
Map
they
of
get
the
there,
battlefield.
where do they go at the end.
that's correct. If you communicate that to them, it's gonna make it easy. Then I'm gonna have Tom Lawson out on the main road. He sees that first military truck coming, he's gonna tell them to go in. Now, the rest of them will be able to follow suit. They're gonna say, okay, that's right, so. But it's gonna be a little back up there. That's why they're at the end, because the truck has to pull in, back up, and so on and so forth. So, there is the diagram for the common. Take a look at it.
So I had a question, people saying, well, where are we gonna see to watch the parade? I said, this is just a preliminary thing. I'm sure there's gonna be more room behind, like behind the golden ages, there'll be more room here. This is just
Absolutely.
like a
Yeah.
preliminary, once you guys start setting it up, if you need to pull it here, pull it there, but it's gonna be in that area.
So there's a classic line from Back to the Future where Doc is describing the main street and he's saying, I'm sorry, it's not to scale. Well, this isn't exactly to scale, so I happen to know the line. So, take a look at it. I've now found out that we have, access to power, that will be needed to get to the podium. And, I'm gonna, the chair's gonna be delivered at, on Friday afternoon. My son's gonna be there to be ready to tell, Taylor Rental where to put them. The majority, I'm gonna put like 100 chairs where, the veterans and the families are gonna be. And then, Claudia has spelled out where she'd like the other chairs to be, 15 up by the podium for the speakers, et cetera. 10 for the golden ages, 15 for the singers, and, there's a sign that's gonna say in front of those veterans and families, gonna say veterans and families seating only. That sign's already been made, and then next to it is gonna be 5 members of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Committee, and, because Tom and I are gonna be up at the podium, the other 5 representatives, including Sarah Wyman, who was the original member, who's coming up from North Carolina. And then as you see, going up to Brigham Street, Color Guard, ROTC groups, all of our kids from the sports groups, and then fire and police, and then militia up behind the podium area to do the salute at the appropriate time. And then the floats, we got it set up so the floats will go up the driveway and they'll swing around. DPW was up there yesterday giving the trees a good haircut, so there's plenty of room for them to park. And our whole idea there is the people on the floats are the ones that are gonna have the most difficulty with mobility. For the most part, you think they'll stay on the floats?
They might if they can see. If they
Yeah.
can see and
Mhm.
hear from where they are, they may just stay right there.
Yeah, because I think
Or they might.
we're gonna swing them around the church and then bring them back and almost down to the driveway again. So I would say they're gonna be within certainly 50 feet of the podium, but they're gonna be 350 feet from the monuments. So when it comes to that auspicious occasion where we unveil the memorial, they're gonna be quite a distance from it, but they'll be able to see it and hear it because we're gonna be,
And
there'll be-
they're gonna be off the ground too.
yeah, so they have a visibility increased. And then I would say if we have extra chairs and people who don't bring chairs, they're welcome to use them, but we wanna be sure, because the demographics of our group, that we have plenty of chairs for those who need them. And
So
then
what-
we've requested that people bring their own chairs. So the average person who's coming for the parade is probably gonna bring a chair or two for people that need it, and then they'll be carrying that chair up to the common area. And one of the things we need to emphasize, and we'll be there to kind of monitor that, is we need the breakdown lane or that little parking lane on 68 for all the classic cars to line up. So we're gonna tell people to be on the grass area to set up to watch the parade. Now, when the cars come, they might have, when the cars come, basically the majority of the parade will already go by, and they'll be able to see, cause none of the cars are gonna be that much of an obstacle. But my son is gonna be driving the Grand Master, and he'll be the first one to park on the right-hand side, a little beyond the school, just before the Wheeler Brothers area. And that will be like the key for other classic cars. But you're gonna tell people with the classic cars, you're gonna be parking on the street if you'd like to stay, and that'll be easy enough to figure out.
We don't know, we don't know how many classic cars, right?
We don't. Mhm.
I would have the motorcycles park on 68
Okay.
as well, because they're not gonna, they're gonna have a hard time parking in that dirt area, I would
Okay,
imagine,
yeah,
so.
I understand.
We can stop them just before the driveway, kinda, that goes up to the common,
I got you.
and they could park there.
Okay. And we can use both sides if we have to.
Yeah, we could see how many motorcycles, we don't know that
Don't know,
either, so.
maybe 4, maybe 24. Yeah.
That, it may be a situation where we can park them, here in the
Yep,
classic
yeah,
cars.
mhm. And we can use both sides of the street at that point, cause it's closed down, so we're good, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So taps, I didn't put a place for you're gonna have a little seat up here with the speakers for the 2 people playing the taps.
What do you normally do?
I don't know what we did last time. But I know we had 2 people playing, but I don't think we recognized where we put them.
The response, of course, would be in the cemetery.
Right,
Mhm.
and then the one back here, but until it's their turn, do we wanna sit the 2 speakers together up here at the podium
Your
with
call.
the rest of them? I think so, I say
Okay.
yes.
Mhm.
What do you say, Tony?
Sure.
Okay,
Good place.
so we're gonna add
Okay,
that
so
in,
we're gonna add
taps
that up
players.
in back of the speakers.
And then they'll know
they'll know where they are going.
Yeah, so I can tell one of them to stand up and, hey, you get back there.
I've heard that voice before, Tom.
Yeah.
Okay, so any questions about the, setup for the common? What do you think?
Looks pretty good.
Okay.
Did you bring the programs over soon, so they can take a look at them? The chairs we talked about already. I just threw out the pop-up tents, but we decided, no, we don't wanna use them unless it's bad weather. I have a couple here in case we need them.
It looks like it's gonna be a nice day, doesn't it?
It does
That's
indeed.
what they say.
You don't wanna jinx it.
No, don't
Leave
say it
it-
twice.
leave the one in there.
Here, see where it says 5
Oh,
veterans? So I put the 5 veterans here, so that all they have to do is walk to the reading and come back.
I'm glad all of you have,
Travis does not have a trailer.
He does not have a trailer. I'll keep looking.
How big?
So each of my
big you
volunteers
looking
out,
for?
I have a clipboard
Just
so
a
they can be
car trailer.
organized and,
A little
I
bigger
got
than a
those.
snowmobile trailer.
Should we take these with us?
Yeah, they're yours.
You have
Yeah,
one, Bill?
unless you wanna turn them in at the end and then we can use them another year.
My
But he
son-in-law
uses them
has a
for
truck.
target practice, so. Right, Joe?
I've got,
I'm daydreaming,
They
sorry.
use them for target practice.
cause you know what, I
see
got,
it with boys, yeah.
I got 23 veterans from Worcester coming, they're all gonna ride. And then I forgot, I just counted how many here, maybe another 20,
They're all gonna ride.
so we just, yeah, so I
did
just.
anybody notice that there's no chair for me? There
Do
shouldn't
you
be.
want a chair up there? We should put your
No, I do
chair.
not want a chair.
I know, cause you always stand.
Yeah,
You never sit.
I've had, there's been times when they've done it and I jerk it away. There's no way to,
Oh, when you're speaking, you don't wanna sit.
I don't wanna
Oh,
sit
no,
and
no,
I don't wanna,
You're tall enough, you
yeah.
don't have to sit, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the program, John and Sue, I guess we're done it mostly on it, and Bill. So if you see any corrections or anything, it's too late, because we've already had them printed.
I was gonna say, is
They're
this the
all
final,
printed.
the
Yeah.
final
This is the
draft?
final,
This is the
this is
final
it.
draft?
This is it, we're gonna pass these out to everybody, I guess we're gonna pass them out when they get to the common,
Okay, that's good.
right? So
Mhm.
we'll
have
just
that,
have
yeah.
piles of them and we'll pass them out.
If you find a mistake now, we're gonna give you all 500 copies and you can change them on all 500 copies.
Yeah,
Looks good.
I thought you'd
Looks
like it.
good.
Hubbardston is spelled wrong on the
Ah.
My heart
Okay.
just, I almost had a heart attack. Hubbardston, jeez.
John picked out the picture on the front, he thought that would be great,
Yes.
Came out good.
so.
Yes.
Okay, so we kind of all approved that little program of ours.
He had asked to have a picture of the memorial, but I told him I didn't want it revealed beforehand, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine.
These are gonna be what we pass out, so the veterans are gonna pass these out when they're walking. Got flags to pass out to people on the side of the road if they want. I don't know if that's a good idea, Joe, or no. Maybe we could wait till they all come to the common and pass them out? What do you
We've-
think?
In years past, we've passed them out. My family used to buy a bunch of them and they pass them out. In the last few years before that, we had to pass them out and say, please don't throw this out into the street when you leave.
Are you gonna
Right.
pass those out to the people you're saying on the sideline?
Well, the last year we did it,
Yeah.
the veterans got of course it's not like this year's very special. But the veterans walking would pass. I remember, Ben Prentice, he kept saying to me, Clyde, I want more flags to pass them, they got a kick out of it, but we can pass them out on the common, as they come up to the common, we can hand them out if you think. Rather than, if you wanna just keep the veterans walking.
Yeah.
You wanted to give those to the people that are on the sideline,
Yeah.
right? I don't know if you, I know it's kinda,
Wait.
who would do it though, that's the only problem. Before the parade starts, you pass them out so that people have them, would that make any sense?
We could do that,
But who's gonna do
or
that?
we'd rather have before.
Who's gonna do that?
Well, I don't know, we'll find
Well, you
some.
want the people to wave the flags for the vets, is
Yeah.
that
That's a good
correct?
idea, yeah, I like that.
So we can walk up and down the street,
Somebody,
pass them out to somebody. All right,
I think
Thinking
we can
golf cart.
probably find, a couple of people who are already set up and they have their chair there and ask them to walk down and hand them out.
Do we have any school volunteers that need hours that we know of?
Yes, we do.
So maybe
So
that would
we'll
be a
have
good
people
thing.
here.
That's a good
Maybe
idea,
that's a
yeah.
good
That's
idea
a
to
great
contact
idea.
them
Yeah.
and say, hey,
Good.
you want your hours passed.
So
You
that
just
would
gotta
be
keep
Blake.
I do have a name
always
of
keep
somebody else
safety in
too.
mind, you know,
Right.
they can't
Blake?
be going back and
Yeah.
across
No,
the
a girl.
road and all that.
Girls?
now.
Yeah.
Yes, and I have a girl too.
Okay.
I have a girl.
Some people go on one side and
She
one on
works
the
at the
other and
Pizza Palace.
work the
Ash-
That's
way.
what we did, we had,
I have
know
one
her
that
name.
works
I
at
have her
Hanford.
I think we
So
had,
it's two girls.
Okay, I have her
my
contact
daughter
information at home.
and my
Okay.
wife, my daughter was on one side with two of her kids, and
There you go.
my wife was on the other side with, the other two.
Handed them out, yeah.
And they are, you know, they just started up at the, you know, they started out before the parade started and just went right down, and when they were done, they were down at the common, get a good seat.
Okay,
Is that okay?
yes, so
Great.
we'll do
Volunteer.
that,
Mhm.
we'll have the volunteers pass them out, okay,
Great.
great, Tom Larson's gonna be parking the military, okay. The other thing is, let's go over, can we just take a minute, let's just talk about the expense. Oh, this one's mine, cause I got the total figures on it.
So we don't get to do the total.
Take one and pass it around.
Yeah.
Let's keep it nugget.
You all set? I don't have the money.
Do you want one? Joe, did you get one?
I'm all set.
I got one.
I have one.
Oh. Oh, I wanna give this to you, Joe, this just came in from your wife, she said it was something we needed. I don't know what this is about, do you know? So, if you go through this, we see that, the expenses on the top did not come out of my Memorial Day fund. I think the 1,500 came out of the Vietnam Memorial Fund. Joe and I got the hats, I got the military poles, I got the 11 flags for each branch, and I got the poles, we needed more military poles to hold the flags, so I paid for those. What came out of the Memorial Day Fund was the Scotty potties, we had got some carpets for the bottom of the float so they wouldn't be slippery. Monty Tech, the t-shirts, the invitations that we sent out, postage for the invitations, the programs, we don't know how much the price is on that yet. They wanted POW flags, so we ordered the POW flags. They should be coming today. We did overnight service so that we could have the POWs because they felt that that was important. Chairs from Taylor Rental now will be a bigger price, right? Not $265?
267,
$267?
but,
There'll be a little bit more.
Ryan said he'd pick up the rest.
Well, I have a balance of $74.31 in the Memorial Day Fund, that's what I got left. And Joyce Green, we haven't paid Joyce yet, we haven't paid the chairs yet, we haven't paid for the programs yet, we haven't paid for the POW flags yet. And Skip Scott, he bought some things for the float, so, but I think after we total everything up, we'll have $74.31 left in the Memorial Day Fund.
And Flo donated the wreath, huh? That was
Flo
very nice of her.
donated the wreath unless she, I say
has
that 'cause
done that in the
unforeseen,
past.
maybe she'll say to me, I need the money for the flowers that I bought, or something, I don't know, she usually just does the whole thing. But I don't know, you never know.
So Claudia, you're saying that, not knowing how much the program's gonna cost and not knowing how much the POW flags are gonna
POW flags
cost,
are gonna be $76.74, I
and
think
then
that's a four.
factoring in those, you'll still have $74 left, or,
I have to take the programs, yes, I have to take the programs off of the 74, cause I
Okay.
don't know what the programs are gonna cost. So that will have to come off of that. I'll do my I'll refigure it over again just to make sure I have the figures correct. Sometimes you do them in a hurry and it just might be a little bit off, but we'll see. So that's how, so far, what the parade has cost us. I just bought paint to redo that trailer over. I'm gonna tell the Golden Ages, cause it's a trailer for the Golden Ages, they're gonna buy the paint. I said, you can pay for the paint, crying out loud.
If, like on the floats where you get some of the older people, would there be water available if they need some water?
We talked about water, and we thought we would get a few cases of water at Blanchard, right? A few cases of water up at the rec field for people to take if they needed it,
And, the Lions were gonna take care of that.
the Lions,
And I think we asked for 4 cases.
4 cases.
But what, you're bringing up, Rich, is maybe up at the rec field, there should be some too, right? Cause they're gonna be there for an hour. And we're not gonna talk about weather, but it appears that, it might be, there might be a sun out. So I think we should.
Rec field.
Don't jinx it.
Right.
Don't jinx it.
So Katie said she already put the flags on the cemetery, so we're all set with that.
I put flags up on the common yesterday,
Okay.
cause Claudia supplied me with some flags, they're all new ones.
Yep.
So is there anything else we wanna bring up that we think we need to discuss, that we need to clarify? I think Lori's all set, I got a table for you, Lori, and 2 chairs. Do you
Like
wanna bring your own tablecloth, or
Flowers.
do you want me?
Do I have flowers and big things out front,
And yeah,
like
you're
the
gonna get that,
Thanksgiving Day
right?
parade?
You're gonna get that, right? You're taking care of that?
I'll take care of my
Good
table,
girl,
sure.
alright, so I'll just give you the table, you can put the tablecloth on and however you want.
Oh,
Table and 2 chairs will be up there,
okay,
6-foot table, so you know what
6-foot
size,
table.
yeah.
On the unveiling, it's just however you get there, making sure there's no order or anything.
No water whatsoever, you know, cause
So we
people are gonna
just-
be coming out of the crowd. Maybe some won't even be sitting with veterans, maybe they elected to stand with their family and so on and so forth, so Tom will make the announcement. I figure that's gonna take about 5 minutes for people to gather, and then, like I said, I'll have, myself will be down there, Patty and my son, and kinda line people up, but, you know, I wanna get everybody to have a piece of that cover, if at all possible. I mean, if we have 40, we'll get them in, you know, cause I want them all to be part of it.
So the other thing was, we talked about it before, was placing these poppies on the wreath. So we needed to have a person from each branch, and we have them sitting up front by the podium. We discussed whether they would be be fine sitting there without their families, whoever we pick, to sit up there 5 in front. So, and also, we talked about that they thought maybe it should be just a Vietnam vet up there. I would like to hear what the committee thinks about that. Should it just be our Vietnam vets from Hubbardston with the 4 flags, and do you have suggestions? And
I'm
for
the
that.
one that said, I think this year, if we have 4
Five.
Vietnam, 5 Vietnam era vets,
Hubbardston,
Hubbardston vets.
Vietnam era veterans.
Cause we would like to pick them ahead of time so that they know when they come on the field where they're gonna be. Does anybody have any suggestions?
I volunteered Mark Wiggler for Coast Guard. He was my boss for a long time, so I like to reverse it, cause he volunteered me for things when I was working for him.
So, okay, so, and I'll get in touch with each one, whomever, let's see who else the committee thinks should do that. We need a Vietnam vet from each branch.
Would it be
Okay, we have 2 here, Rich,
I know, but it's, you know, there's other people around that probably would do it.
Rich, would you like to do it?
If you want me to, I'll
Okay,
do it.
Rich has volunteered.
Okay.
Okay, so we have Rich for the Marines,
Tom's for Navy.
I'll be happy to do Navy.
you wanna do Navy?
Sure, why not? I'm damn
Gonna
proud.
introduce yourself?
You bet.
Okay. So we need
Army and Air Force.
and Air Force. So let me bring up this, which is kind of a little bit of a touchy thing, because certain people feel certain ways. I know my husband. You want people who work literally in Vietnam.
No,
Vietnam era, November 55 to April 75. All of those names are on, so. We have 58 that were in country, but I don't believe that's a criteria
no.
for that responsibility.
Okay.
That's my input.
Because we have the Army, I know Roger's an Army vet, I don't know if he would do that or not, I would have to ask him.
Just make him,
Yeah.
Yeah,
easy.
well.
Yeah, you could.
Tell him what's not going to happen.
Yeah, Joe, if you were gonna be there, you'd go, but you're not, you backed
Well,
out.
I'm talking about supper, not, come on, guys.
That's,
No, it's,
oh, you're all set. But do we have any other suggestions, so anybody can, I can contact these people, or I see them? Cause we need a few more, who do we need now? We've got the
We need Air
Navy, we got the
Force.
Coast Guard, we got the, Navy, Coast Guard, Marines, we need the Air Force and the Army.
So Rogers Army, you said though, right?
Rogers Army,
So you would need an Air Force.
so we need an Air Force. Do we know
did John
anybody
serve?
that,
Nason.
When did John serve?
Oh, yeah,
Korea.
John Nason.
he wasn't in, he was
He
in
was not
Vietnam,
okay.
they wanted an Army.
Corey, if you know a list of names, I've got the original list. I
Oh, yeah,
have
so we'll look at that
40 or
tonight.
so that were in the Air Force, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, some of these.
I'll run a few of them by you and you could say, oh, I'll get in touch with him.
So after the readings, you ask us to come up and place,
Now, John Prentice,
I'll be,
Yes,
I'll
yeah,
be,
Tom will be
that's
telling you
what I'm-
exactly when.
I'll be asking, you know, would our veteran or the Navy come out, representative. And then what you do is you just walk up and,
you're gonna put this on the, you're gonna put
Put-
this on the wreath,
on the reef,
and you're gonna salute it. and-
salute it,
It'll be the band will be playing and the
Yeah.
ladies will be singing the anthem of that service.
right.
so we just gotta make sure we have that
And then
before
you-
I will give these to you.
Do you want somebody else to make the announcement seeing you're going up?
No,
Or do you want us to
I
find
can
another
handle
name?
it, that's all right.
You're gonna introduce yourself? Hi, me Tom Collier, I'm gonna put this on you.
Shake the hand.
I'll just tell everybody,
Shake yourself.
I'll just tell everybody, hey, I'm the chairman here, I'm gonna go, I'm walking up here. No, I'll do it,
I'm doing it.
I'll just walk.
Okay.
It won't be it's not a big thing.
What
You don't
about
have to
John
click your
Prentice?
heels together, you
John
don't have to,
Prentice? Yeah.
so we just
He's
put
Air
them in and
Force.
then
Please.
just walk back.
Fine.
yeah, please
Yeah.
don't try to make
I'll
a
check with him
complete,
to see if he's
you know,
Yeah.
military turn, because
Great.
that glass out there, you'll probably
'Cause I
be
have
on
most
your
of
ass.
them.
But that's all, you just do,
Okay, so John.
walk up, put it in there, make a
I'll see
salute.
about Roger.
She'll be
Okay.
standing there with him, she'll hand it to us, we just
I'll
walk
hand
up
it
to
to
it.
I guess that's where I'm
So
gonna be.
Ken McCauley, we're not
You'll
gonna
have
ask
them to me,
him.
on for me on the podium, hand them, you'll have the 5,
I'm gonna hand it to them while they're sitting there.
Oh,
They're gonna have
okay.
it as soon as you sit down, you're gonna have
Okay.
this,
You'll-
and you're gonna
you get
hold
it.
it the whole time until you put it away. So you'll have it.
On Friday, can I have a couple of the officers bring the jailbird, the eagle, over to right in front of the Civil War monument and lay it down there? I can position it after,
Sure.
okay? Yep. Anytime on Friday,
You
you know.
guys still got it in jail?
We have to bail them out, the
Yeah.
jailbird, the Civil War eagle.
So do we have any other,
Off his head.
Eagle.
Yeah.
anything else, anybody wanna talk anything about expenses, or do you wanna talk about anything else, or are we just gonna go for that day and hope everything works out good?
Flagpole.
Flagpole, yes.
I have a report on the flagpole. So the climber, because people do that, are going to climb up the flagpole today
Good luck.
That is also.
to address and fix the pulley.
Who's
I
that?
believe this is a reliable climber from Forest, Patriot Flagpole.
That's what I did, I kinda went behind your back, but
Oh,
I gave you
that's-
some names about that from the veteran cemetery, who they used, well, that was, got back to me, and they do not do that anymore, unfortunately. But they gave us some of the vendors in case we came into a fix where it wasn't gonna happen.
So the
you can
committee
keep this
knows.
for reference if you want.
The issue is that it's 80+ feet, so most bucket trucks and other things are 60 feet.
Yep.
Even the fire trucks
That
hitting
and fire-
100-foot stick,
that and
as they
fire
call
truck.
it, is not common. So if it's not done this afternoon, which I do believe it will be done this afternoon, then the fire department will have the pieces from Forest and they'll be the backup on Friday. So there should be a flag up there tomorrow. If not, it'll be Friday. And then if it's Monday and it's not done, I'll climb it up.
I'll get a pulley, I'll help you.
I want a video of that.
Alright.
Used to be
I'll
able to
take the
do that,
video,
but
cause I'm
now
not
they
going
won't.
up there.
Yeah, that's a long way, that sucker's a long way up.
Ryan, stick together.
Connections with the helicopter guys and just rappel down and put it up there.
That I would do, but I won't climb a pole.
Mm.
So
I
is there
always-
any
I
other?
always tell a story about the first year that I was chairman, and so I went up there that morning to put the flag down to half mast. And, you know, I kept, and I tie it off and I'd go back, couldn't, so and I'm telling you, if you're by yourself and you're trying to get that thing to half mast and you're looking up there, you're gonna fall over on your back.
Yeah.
It's so high, you can't, there's no way. You have to be dang limber to be able to do that.
One
And if
more
it's
thing.
working, if it happens to be working, then we'll make sure at dawn it's at half mast.
Yeah, I'll have, John Sturgis is working overnight that night, I'll have him go up
Super.
there in the morning and
Yeah, excellent.
put it up.
Now the-
He's gonna need someone to help him, to get somebody stand out on the corner and tell him when it's at half mast. 'Cause
Yeah.
man, one person, you
Call
can't.
that mutual aid.
Actually, all
Yeah.
flags are supposed to be at half
Yeah.
mast now, by the way.
Yes.
Yes,
So it would be,
They were at the rec
we
room
could,
this morning.
once he gets it up,
so if the flag
have it
goes
do it
up
at half
tonight-
mast, cause the president has ordered all flags to be at half
How
mast.
many days was that? Did you correct?
I believe it'll be at least a 5-day period.
Just one other thing, the banner now that we have made, we gotta find 2 veterans to hold that banner. So, don't know.
Thought we
Well,
were-
you're gonna have
Yeah,
a bunch
doing it?
here at
Who's
the
holding-
center.
Are you 2 gonna do the banner? Did you say
Yeah.
you would?
You want me to?
Yes, you're
He
gonna
said
lead 'em.
It's light.
Yeah, we'll leave
It
it.
You're
doesn't
gonna-
weigh, it
You're
doesn't
gonna be
weigh.
in front
I'll
of
get them in step, that's
all
what I
the
would do.
veterans. Oh,
So once
wow.
everybody's in place, then we,
You're gonna be in the front
okay,
with the
then
banner.
we grab the banner and,
Unless we find some younger volunteers,
run.
which
Yeah, grab the
I'm
banner
probably
and
one
So
of the
we're
younger
right in the
ones.
front?
Designate
I
them,
am one of
yeah.
the younger
so when
ones.
we get down here, what do we do with it?
Well, I don't know. We'll put it on the
Put it on
veterans
the
float.
float.
We'll put it on the float.
I do have one question. There is an individual assigned to walk with the walking veterans. And he's asked me if we want him to line them up and call out a cadence, or do we just walk? Now, the answer I would give him was, we just walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't need,
I think that Billy would like to put him in, the Marine wants to
With
put
a-
him in step. No, I'll tell him. I told him that
At ease?
at ease.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what you can do, you can ask him to ask the group how they feel about it.
Yeah, that's a
And
good
if he
idea.
feels like doing it,
That's a,
Yeah.
that's a practice thing.
cause sometimes
Sounds
it's
better than it's
easier,
gonna
it's
look.
easier
I
to
know.
stay in step than to be stepping on each other sometimes.
Yeah,
Am I wrong saying that, or?
I just think it sounds good, but I don't think it's possible for half a mile.
yeah, listen, I tried to get the people that were walking with me in the front
Yeah.
every year to keep in step, and it never worked.
Mm.
I mean, you know, they tried, I mean, but, you know, now everybody's walk, skip, walk.
So route step then.
Well, I think it's
Two
like
left feet.
anything else. If you work at it and you practice it, it can happen.
I don't think we
Yeah,
have.
but
That's
you're not
only
gonna
my
get-
thing.
you're not-
I
you're
don't
not
think we have
gonna
enough
get-
time.
Not now, it's too late. It's
Yeah, a
too
lot of
late
those
now.
people don't
Maybe
live
if
in
we
this
start
town,
practicing
how
for
can we get
next
them here to
year.
practice?
They've done their time stepping and marching, let them
Right.
walk. Right?
Yeah, I think, I would just say, you know, I'll tell him if the people tell him, no, we wanna march, well, okay, let them go.
Just cause they look like the Dirty Dozen.
and
And
once you
is
do
it
it,
about a
everybody's
half a
out of
mile
step
from
and just tell 'em,
the rec
give 'em
field
the
to the
cadence,
common?
everybody's out of
Is it
step,
about a
what's he
half
gonna
mile?
do?
Yeah, that's right. I mean,
Yeah, it's good.
Just short.
Yeah,
I kept trying to tell him, you know, listen to the drum.
Yeah. Yep. Big
Left foot on the jump, the drum, just, do it.
The main issue I'd have with it is when you're in step, you're focusing on being in step and not
Right.
interacting with the crowd
Right.
or
That's right.
enjoying the day. So
That's right, yeah,
they're gonna be very focused on trying to look good rather than
Yeah.
enjoying it.
yeah.
enjoy the day.
'Cause
Your-
it
this
does
little
take a
girl-
lot of focus.
Little girl over there, your daughter is over there yelling, "Daddy, Daddy!" and then it goes to hell anyway.
So, did we confirm with the firemen that they're not gonna do the sirens?
Yes, I have spoken to them,
Yes,
over I do not control them, so.
so they're not gonna do what we asked?
I didn't say that, I'm just.
Well, I can tell by the smile, they're gonna do whatever they want, huh?
They are probably gonna do whatever they want, but I have asked them not to do that, so.
What do you want them to do?
We don't want any
Not
stuff
use their siren and
Not
their air
using their
horns and all
sirens.
that stuff.
for that day.
That goes along with the one that didn't wanna have any of the military vehicles here, cause it was threatening.
Yes.
But we
Cause the
told her,
Lions are gonna have music on their float, I understand.
Yes,
yeah,
And we're gonna have a band,
yes.
so the band's sound is gonna travel quite a distance, cause we've got them set up towards the front. And then the Lions are in like
So my,
position 22 or 23, so that's like 2/3 of the way through, so.
and my thing with the firemen and the sirens, the people that are gonna have their horses in the float, in the parade are not that far, they're in the back.
Yeah, they're right in
So
front of
those
them.
They're right in front of
sirens
them, yeah.
are gonna
Mhm.
scare those horses, and those kids that are riding those horses
That'd be a
could get
disaster.
hurt.
Yes.
So, we're,
so there you go, Chief.
that
See?
is what
You
we're
now
trying
have
to tell them,
you
please
now
do
can-
not
it's a-
do that.
it's a-
You
it's
don't wanna
public
scare them. Now,
safety.
issue.
we have
Exactly.
horses and we had a little firework thing because it was somebody's birthday, did a little tiny thing, and that horse went nuts when they were trying to put him in the stall last night. So I'm just saying, you don't want those kids to get hurt,
Mhm.
so they really need to keep it quiet. This
I didn't
time,
even think
just
about
this
the
time.
horses, but I'll mention that to them.
They are
Blame
right
it,
next
blame
to
the
it, yeah.
horses, so you can't play the horses.
Do we know how
What are
many
you gonna
horses
do,
are gonna
put
come?
plugs in them?
I don't know.
I don't know exactly how many,
How about tractors and trucks? Do we
and I don't know
many?
how many of that.
See, there's another unknown, you guys
Don't
lining
know.
them up, so, you know, can't control.
Yeah.
The horses
But in the
are on-
You never
past, how
know.
many-
I never knew.
Yeah,
They
how many
just
in the past
show
have
up.
come
They
as
just
far
show
as,
up.
the huts, you know, the old tractors?
Oh. There were years when there weren't any, and then there were, but, you know, they never was, it's never over, you know, 5 to 10. 10 would have been really a lot.
Mhm.
They're probably gonna have at least 10 horses, I would think. They're
10 horses?
Well, maybe,
10 horses?
maybe 8 to 10, maybe, cause they're gonna decorate them all up, they're gonna put ribbons in there, all the kids are working again, and they're all young kids that are doing this, they're all,
Who's got the,
Focus
push-
Burnchard Stable's doing it.
they're gonna do all the, cleaning up afterwards?
Oh,
No, that's
probably.
the fire department.
Fire department.
Yeah.
Maybe they have a bucket on their tail, I don't know. But,
help it.
yeah, so they're
Yeah.
excited, they're all
Perfect.
decorated.
I like
and-
that. Okay.
Did you put in
You,
the horses?
Yeah,
you
definitely
want,
have 'em, and
you
they'll
wanna
show
blow
right
that
at the
horn?
end.
Here's
So
what you have to
worst
do.
case scenario, they can go up onto the field area.
Who could?
And then
The
the horses.
The horses are, this is what the horses are gonna do. They're gonna come down, be in the parade, they're gonna turn around and go back up
Cool.
and get in their trailer. So they won't be on the common, cause you're gonna have the guns and, you know, different things like that might have. So they're gonna go, they're just gonna be in the parade and then go back up and then come down probably. To
So Joe and Rich, if we have an overflow of horses, I'll talk about it. They're right at the very end.
Yes.
So if there's an overflow, we can put them right up on the field. I mean, right around the corner is the entrance to the recreation field itself, so put them right around the corner.
Yeah.
That's gonna be 10, I didn't realize it was gonna be 10.
I'm
but-
thinking,
okay.
well, I don't know.
Well,
I'll check with them. You want me to find out for
That
sure?
sidewalk probably would be a good place
Yeah,
for 'em to
yeah,
tee out.
why not? That'll be open.
Because it goes right up there.
Yeah.
Do you want me to find out for sure exactly?
They could even park their trailer up there, like if you're facing the rec field to the right, you can go right
There's
up
a lot
there,
of
and
room
there's
there.
that barn that's right there.
They're gonna
They can
park their trailer at Go Green,
Oh,
because
okay.
that's where they're
Yeah.
gonna start.
Oh, okay.
Then they're gonna go back, put them in there and.
Yeah,
take the
Kellyanne
horses.
has factored that in.
Anything else? Anything else anybody wants to clarify right now? 'Cause now,
Forever hold your peace.
that's right.
Who's
we're
setting
gonna
up
just-
the chairs at the common?
We got 'em.
Oh, you already said,
Yeah,
I
okay.
saw that
I
somewhere.
did call the
so-
school and they said yes, but then Bill decided he'd rather rent, so that
No,
was
no,
what
no,
we
who's
decided.
setting them up though?
It'll be, myself in the morning and, hopefully the two young men volunteers
Yeah.
that, we talked to, Joey and
Okay.
was it Brad
Blake.
or Brooke, Blake, yeah, okay, so,
And I'll see them
What time do
tonight.
you need volunteers there?
pardon?
What time do you need volunteers?
Want them there by 9 o'clock.
How do you ever make out with the reading? I missed the last meeting, how did
I've
that
got
go?
3 cute girls. One is a 3rd grader doing the Gettysburg Address, and she is amazing. She memorized the whole
Was
thing.
that the one that you had worked it out with, the one that had done the interview with you and that, or was this one the teacher assigned?
No, this is the one that came to me.
So,
And
so
and
you
then
guys
she
worked
did,
it out?
yeah, she did a beautiful job.
I mean, you worked it out with the school, or?
Oh, yeah, so then we
Okay,
went over to
good.
the school, met with the school, the
Alright,
principal.
excellent.
So I have to really tell you that yesterday we were supposed to have auditions and nobody showed up. Why? I was in panic. I said, oh my God, they're mad at us, they're not gonna come, oh Jesus. Principal called me at home, it was just an oversight. We listened to a young lady today with Flanders Field, she did a beautiful job. The kids are very proud and very excited that they did that. They memorized it and they're proud of it and they're gonna be all set. So we're good.
Coming back.
With that. And I'm glad we did it that way because they're very proud of themselves. You know, and they're gonna get a little dress or a little something, they're gonna dress up. They worked hard, the parents helped them with it, and it's, whatever happens, if they forget it up there, well, somebody will step in and help them. But I think they'll do great. So that's okay. Just looking for a trailer guy, it's a trailer,
Do you want me to post something that says if you have a trailer to contact you?
yeah. Doesn't have to be big, I don't want a snowmobile or a,
6-foot trailer?
minus
Eight
it's, like
foot.
Rogers is 20 feet, the other guy's is 17 feet,
So like a 20-foot.
10 foot or more, 10 foot maybe, we could do a 10-foot trailer, I mean, just to make sure we have enough room for everybody and they're not all crowded on there. And
Nothing works
also,
out by Friday, let me know about the trailer.
okay,
I have a trailer I have a car on now, but I could possibly,
oh,
but,
and Sunday afternoon between 1 and 2, we're gonna be out in the back decorating these trailers, setting up the tables and everything for out front here. Anybody feels like they wanna come down, the senior center will be all set up and ready Friday night, but this all here is gonna have to,
What time on Sunday?
between 1 and 2. So we have a lot of decorations over there, we've got the poles and we've got the POW, hopefully that will come today. And they're trying to fix the trailers with wood so we can stick the flags on the sides. Be good, I think. Hey, you know, we get A for effort, don't we? I think everybody's done a great job,
A plus.
everybody's been so good. It's amazing, and actually what a great group to work with, all of you are wonderful to work with, I'm very happy to say that, part of it. So, but I think it's gonna be a sad day, but that's okay. Thank you all very much, appreciate that. And I guess we're adjourned if there's nothing more to say or do,
1209.
12:09.
We'll see you